What's going on, YouTube, man? Welcome back to another video. Now, before we jump into today's video, man, you should know what you should have been did. Like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We trying to save the world. We trying to save as many people as we possibly can. My hands is as dry as a chip, as my grandmother would say. So make sure you hit that post notification bell so you don't get that post nut clarity, my guys. Now listen, man. So as you guys can see from the title, right? You know what I'm saying? Before we even jump into the video, make sure y'all checking out the links down below. You already know what to do. Follow me on all social media platforms. Join the Discord. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to go on longer semen retention streaks, make sure you're checking out the books that I have posted down below. You know what I'm saying? If you want some CMOS, check out all the links, man. You already know what to do. So as you can see by today's title, I wanted to talk about, should you approach women? And I'm not calling my brother out, but I was watching one of Nana the Soul's videos, and I heard him say that you shouldn't approach women. And I'm not calling you out, brother, but I want to say I disagree. You know what I'm saying? I want to say that I disagree. And the reason I disagree, and I have my Bible with me today, so I'm gonna read some verses from the book of Ruth. I believe that you should approach women, right? Because I firmly believe that a man chooses a wife. I firmly believe that a man sees a woman because we are visual creatures. If you ever notice in your day-to-day life, sometimes you don't even look at a woman's face sometimes. Sometimes the beauty don't even matter because we get blinded by all the booty that we forget about the beauty. Sometimes we get blinded by the beauty, forgetting about the spirit. So us men, we're visual creatures. We like what we see when it comes to women. We like what we see when it comes to things. If something looks good, us men, we're going to go after it. And for women, if you can make them feel a certain type of way, for women, if you can get into their emotions, if you can get on the good side of their emotions, that is what a woman goes based off of. If you can get on the good side of her emotions. So men are visual, women are emotional. So with that being said, I believe that a man chooses a wife. And it brings me back to, let me find it. This light is actually burning my eyes. I can't even read the scripture. As I was saying, I personally feel like a man chooses a wife. All because in Genesis, think about it. When God created Eve out of Adam's rib, Adam could have easily said, you know what, God? I'm not messing with Eve. I'm not jacking Eve. Eve is not the flesh of my flesh, the bone of my bone. He could have easily rejected what God made for him. So even in the beginning of time, we see that a man chooses a wife because Adam chose Eve. And even towards the book of Ruth, I believe it's Ruth chapter 3, verses 3-4, or 3-8, actually. So basically Naomi, Ruth's mother-in-law, right? So Naomi was basically giving Ruth instructions. So she said in verse 3, wash thyself therefore and anoint thee and put thy raiment onto thee and get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man until he shall be done eating and drinking. And it shall be when he lieth down that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie. And thou shalt go in and uncover his feet and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And it also says in verse 5, and she said unto her, all that thou sayest unto me I will do. And she went down unto the floor and did according all that her mother-in-law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly and uncovered his feet, and laid her down. So in verse 8, it says, and it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thy handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. And he said, blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, inasmuch as thou followest not young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, fear not, I will do to thee all that thou requirest. For all the city of my people doth know that thou art a virtuous woman. And now it is true that I am thy near kinsman. Howbeit there is a kinsman nearer than I. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning, that if he will perform unto thee the part of a kinsman, well, let him do the kinsman's part. But if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee, then will I do the part of a kinsman or kinsman to thee. As the Lord liveth, lie down until the morning. So we see that Ruth presented herself to Boaz, right? And we see that in a modern term called choosing signals. You know, a lot of men call it choosing signals when a woman flicks her hair. You know, she might smirk at you. She might get close to you, all of that. You know, so a woman is basically going to present herself to you. You know, and that is when you should make a decision on whether or not you want to approach that woman or not. You know, if you visually think a woman looks attractive, as a man, you must. It is a part of our nature to initiate, to be a leader. It is a part of our nature as a man to initiate that conversation with that woman. Because 9 times out of 10, she's probably not going to initiate, bro. 9 times out of 10, a woman is not going to just randomly come up to you. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, she's not going to just come up to you. So as a man, we got to get rid of that mindset of, oh, I'm not going to approach a woman because I'm the prize. We got to get out of that mentality, man, because believe it or not, a woman is not going to approach you first. It's very rare that happens. It's very rare. And with me saying that a woman is going to present herself to you, and that is when she's going to give you the option to choose, I'm also a believer of cold approaching women. I also believe it's okay to cold approach because, one, it helps you to challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone. You know, there's a lot of benefits to cold approaching women. You know, because as I once heard someone say, a man will go up to a woman knowing that she don't even like him. You know, he will still approach a woman that he knows probably doesn't even like him like that. You know what I'm saying? So as men, I believe that we should cold approach. Even if you don't think that woman likes you, if you find her physically attractive, still approach her. Still approach that woman. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that a man should approach women. You know, we see a woman that we find attractive. We think she's pretty enough to be our wife. Then go up to her and tell her how you feel. You know what I'm saying? I believe in that. I don't believe in the whole, oh, just work on yourself and until, you know, a woman comes up to you and, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of backwards. The roles have been reversed. You know, you're going to be waiting all your life. You're going to be single until you're 75, all because you waited for a woman to approach you. Living life with that mentality isn't going to get you nowhere. Because as a man, you know, a man is going to face a lot more rejection than a woman does. And not to say that women don't face rejection, but a man is going to face a lot more rejection than women does. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact, man. We have to start putting our pride aside and start initiating with women we find attractive. You know, as we seen in the word, Ruth presented herself to Boaz. You know, and a lot of hurt men might be like, well, all women have to do is just show up and be pretty. Yes, that is a part of their feminine nature. You know what I'm saying? God didn't create women to approach man and initiate every single thing. It is a part of our nature to be leaders. And a part of being a leader, you have to initiate. And listen, I don't want nobody taking what I'm saying out of context, because I'm sure you probably know relationships that worked from the women approaching. But like I said, that is very rare. It is very rare for a woman to actually come up to you and express her feelings. It is very rare, especially in these times. So listen, stop with all the, you're not going to approach women, because listen, man, listen, that is not going to get you nowhere. We supposed to be initiating interactions with women. Even if it leads to rejection, just the thought of you trying, that's all that's enough. That's all that's enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that a man should just, tend to his garden and just not pay attention to women and just focus on yourself and just build yourself. Like, nah. Because that way of thinking will draw you very weary on your walk with Christ. Why you think a lot of men talk about being lonely and feeling like they need somebody to talk to? It's because they're listening to the rhetoric that they should just build themselves up and not worry about women. Whole time, it is okay to date women. It is okay to take women on dates. It is okay to talk to women. Because dating somebody doesn't mean that you have to be in a relationship with that person. You know what I'm saying? Not because you're dating somebody means you're already one with that person. If you're not married to that person, then you're not one with that person. So it is okay to try to date a woman, court a woman, and eventually make it lead up to marriage. So listen, man, the video, I might make a part 2. Who knows? If you guys probably want me to get more deeper in this, let me know down below. Like the video if you learned something new today, or, you know what I'm saying, if you took something insightful from today's video. It's getting pretty dark, and I'm not trying to be talking in the dark. Y'all probably can't even see me right now. But listen, man, share this video with a friend. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, man. Listen, I'll catch you in the next one. I mean, did I say subscribe yet? Yeah, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, man. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm out.